What's up guys, it's the Hunter Project here. Welcome to my channel where you'll find Monster Hunter news, builds, playthroughs and everything in between. Today's video was requested by quite a few of you guys from my last video, so here it is. And before getting into this video, I would like to say that this of course is going to be potential spoiler content, and I will be covering leaked information that could very realistically become a reality. So with that being said, today I will be going over the remaining monsters that were on the data mine list that have not come to the game, and this list did surface just before the game's launch and it was extremely accurate. So jumping straight into it, we have the most logical one to start it off, All Mother Nawa. So of course we officially know that we will be getting our proper ending to the story in version 3.0 to tie up the cliffhanger ending where Nawa wasn't fully slain but dropped into that chasm. And I'm guessing this update will most likely come sometime between like the end of May, maybe end of June latest. But the actual release date is unknown, so those are just my guesses based on how long I think they would actually make us wait for the proper ending. And this second form of Nawa, I'm hoping it will be a lot harder and challenging. I hope that there aren't any siege weapons involved, as I do think as fun as they were to use against Nawa for the first, I'd say, 10 times, at least when I was farming her, it did get a bit to the point where I was just like, okay, these siege weapons just make the fight way too easy. Like the amount of damage you do with them is just ridiculous. And another thing I do hope for is another variant of Nawa's armor that will actually have decoration slots this time, as one of the things that did put me off Nawa's and Ibushi's armor were the lack of decoration slots. And speaking of Ibushi, many people are hoping for a Nawa Ibushi boss battle, which I think would be pretty cool. Of course this isn't linked to the video too much, but I guess this kind of relates to version 3.0's update, and I think it would be pretty cool to have a fight where you're fighting both of them. Of course none of this is confirmed, but I definitely think it is a possibility to happen, and I hope it does. It would be an extremely cool encounter, so time will tell as to whether or not that will happen. As for the other monsters on the list, it seems we will also be getting Coshaladeora and Teostra, and I'm sure a lot of people are probably sick of the two of them. They do seem to be coming in DLC 1 as well, alongside Chameleos and Apex Rathalos. Of course those are the two we already know are coming officially, like confirmed, but I think it is very likely these will come in DLC 1, as it would make a lot of sense for them to reunite and collectively bring back the Elder Dragon trio from Generation 2, and it is pretty cool to think of them like that. Of course a lot of people are fed up with Kashala and Teostra, not necessarily because they're bad monsters, but they are Elder Dragons that are always in the games, and they're not necessarily the best of their category. But regardless, I am happy that they are returning, as I am all for more monsters in the roster, especially our limited Elder list. But I would have preferred if we got something more recent, or even new Elders personally. Once again though, we are at the beginning of the game's life cycle, so there is a lot of time, excluding the Ultimate expansion, for the roster to be expanded with some monsters many fans are hoping for. And then of course, in the way into the future, we will be getting the Ultimate expansion, which Capcom never seems to disappoint with, so I'm extremely excited to see what Rise's Ultimate Edition will bring for us, but of course that is way into the future. In addition to those three, we will be getting Betelgeuse as well, according to this data mine, which will be pretty cool for our next Generation 5 return. Personally, I wasn't too big of a fan of the return of the smaller Gen 5 monsters like Kuliyaku and Juratodus, but Basil will definitely be a welcome return. I assume they will mix the movesets of Seething into it slightly, or maybe change the moveset up a tiny bit just to keep it fresh. And getting on to our final monster, we have Crimson Glow Valstrax. So the weird thing about this one is that the data mine only mentions this specific variant of the monster, so at first it did get me thinking that it could be just a Rampage boss and just tied to Rampage exclusively, but once again it is very unclear and ambiguous as to what this specific Valstrax could be. And I did actually see a Reddit post that got me thinking, and it stated that Crimson Glow Valstrax is what they name it in the code for the cutscene variant that they show, obviously the model they show in the cutscenes, as it's usually shown as like a shooting star, so that does make a lot of sense to have crimson glow in front of it, and I think this probably is what it means. But then once again, it could be a narwhal situation where this is a different variant, and the first form's still in development, so it wasn't data mined alongside it, it wasn't in the game code yet. But once again, this is all speculation as to what this crimson glow Valstrax could be. If anything, I would assume that I would say you could safely assume that Valstrax will be coming to the game, but as to when and what kind of form it will take, that's still up in the air. But I think the cutscene theory is definitely quite plausible in this case. But regardless, I am super stoked for this jet engine beast to return in Rise, as it's an extremely cool monster, like really epic design, and to be able to fight it with the wire bug now, I think it's going to be fantastic. And a little extra note in terms of future Apex monsters, we have already been shown officially to be getting Apex Rathalos in the April update, but as for the following ones, we will be getting Diablos and Zinoga according to this data mine, and I assume, like the others, they will be derived from their deviant forms when being implemented, which seems to be the case, and it's quite evident that it is with this with all the Apexes involved in the rampages. I'm not as hyped for them as much as the other monsters that are said to be returning, but I really do hope that they eventually separate Apexes from rampages so we can fight them in standalone hunting quests, as that would definitely make me more willing to fight them. As cool as, like, I do love to fight the Apex forms of each of these monsters, but having to fight through the rampage each time just to get that opportunity, it's just it just pulls me away from the fight, and it demotivates me to try get to their encounters. But yeah guys, this does bring us to the end of this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to smash the like, subscribe buttons, it's extremely appreciated as we make our way to 1,000 subscribers, and comment down below what monster you are most excited for with these next 2 DLCs. And don't forget to join our Discord, link is at the top of the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.